Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Coach Called Life. My name is Swamy. Today let's look and see if depersonalization is a transformational process or not. So what exactly is a transformational process? Well, a transformational process or a psychological transformational process is anything that changes your inner self and your personality. Your inner self is the part of yourself that you know intimately, your deep thoughts, your little secrets that only you know, and the personality is the part that you project to the outside world. A transformational process actually changes both your inner self and your personality. A transformational process is almost always positive, but it's not apparent in the beginning especially. You think something bad is about to happen, you think you're in some kind of chaos world, but at the end, a transformational process, when it gets resolved, when the process is complete, it almost always is positive. There's often pain involved in a transformational process, and the change is never easy. Change always involves pain, and it involves sacrifices too. That is one key marker of the psychological transformational process. With the help of a transformational process, your past limitations are transcended. This is a hallmark feature of the psychological transformational process, is that whatever that was limiting you in the past, whatever that was holding you back in the past has been transcended, and it no longer has that effect on you. And also, towards the end of the transformational process, you are left with a new understanding of yourself and the world in general. So let's take a look at how DP can be a transformational process. Anyone going through depersonalization can attest to how hard it is, how painful the experience is. Depersonalization tests your psychological strength. There's no doubt about it. And just like physical strength, you become mentally stronger through adversity. When you're comparing it to physical strength, let's say you want to go get stronger, what you have to do is you have to go and do some weightlifting or resistance training, and that process is going to break down your muscles, and when your muscles get rebuilt, they get rebuilt stronger. So you have to give it that stimulus. You have to go through that painful stimulus of actually making you, which will actually make you stronger. So in the same way, going through mental adversities is actually going to make you mentally strong. Adversities like depersonalization can help build your mental endurance, and it can help you find your inner strength. Not a lot of people realize how much strength that they have in themselves. I always tell my clients that there is a reservoir of strength inside of you. You gotta first believe that it exists. You gotta tap into that strength. And you can. Any kind of mental adversity, you can endure these adversities by tapping into that inner strength. And I see depersonalization, as an invitation to tap into that kind of strength, because without that adversity, you would never even think about it. You would never even think about reaching inside of you and reaching out for that strength. But adversities are these signals for you to go in and reach for that inner strength and find and use that inner strength and build that inner strength and become stronger every day. Depersonalization helps you gain knowledge about yourself and the world around you. Anyone going through derealization can tell you how bewildered they are by the world, how different it is now, the way that they experience the world is. That is a new understanding of the world. And you thought reality was this simple thing, you got used to it, and you never even questioned anything about reality. But after derealization and depersonalization, you start to see how deep and intricate the world is. And that is a new understanding of the world. That's something that you've gained after depersonalization. It might be distressing in the beginning, but As you see, like when the process continues and when the process goes into completion, you are left with this highly, beautiful and mysterious and remarkable understanding of the world. You don't just see it as something mundane. You see it as something sacred and profound. At least that's what happened to me. The world around me and my understanding of myself changed with depersonalization. I never thought I would go through anything like this before. So I see that as a sign of a transformational process because it gave me new understanding of myself and the world around me. Another point that I wanted to make is depersonalization can make you attuned to the suffering, not only yours, but also of the world. People, in my own experience, when I went through a depersonalization, or before I went through a depersonalization, I would see people on the streets or homeless people on the streets, and I wouldn't care about them. I wouldn't care about anyone in any kind of mental distress. But then once I went through depersonalization and I came out of it, I have this empathy built in me now to understand others' pain, and I think that has made me into a better human. You will also find that going through depersonalization, going through any kind of psychological transformational process will leave you better in many ways. You become stronger, you become wiser, and you become a better version of your whole self. So why am I telling you all of this? I believe that if you view your depersonalization as a transformational process, it has a lot of benefits. Let me list a few of them. Seeing depersonalization as a transformational process gives immediate meaning to your suffering. Right now, you might be feeling meaninglessness or hopelessness as to why you are going through this. Why me? Why do I have to go through this? Why is everybody else out there happy, living their lives? Why do I have to suffer? I didn't ask for this at all. But then viewing your own depersonalization as a transformational process gives you some kind of meaning, and meaning makes suffering bearable. Meaning makes, meaning helps you endure suffering. It also helps you accept the pain, and the feelings and the symptoms of depersonalization as well. There are so many kinds of symptoms and feelings that you feel that you have no context, right? But seeing depersonalization as a transformational process helps you accept that pain. And as you know, and as I've talked about in many of my previous videos, acceptance is the key to getting through depersonalization. Seeing it as a transformational process helps you leave your old self, get not clenched to your old self, but embrace the new self. In any transformational process, like I said, you are moving from an old self to a new self. In the middle is the transformation process, which is often, hard to go through, which is often painful. But then you gotta, at some point, let go of your old self, especially if your old self has been unhealthy, especially if you've been harboring a lot of unhealthy lifestyle or habits, in the past. Seeing it as a transformational process helps you let go of those unhealthy habits. Unhealthy is a part of your personality. And then it helps you embrace the new self, right? It helps you adhere to a structure in life, and helps you adhere to good habits that make you stronger by the day. Also, seeing depersonalization as a transformational process helps you deal with the uncertainty and the fear in the process itself. Depersonalization is extremely scary to go through, and you have no idea what's going to happen, and you are really uncertain about the future. But seeing it as a transformational process and knowing that at the end of the day, at the end of the process, it will always be a positive one, helps you deal with day-to-day uncertainties and day-to-day fear. Even if you have fear and scary feelings today, you'll know that, okay, in the end, in about a month or in about a year, I'm going to get over all of this. Slowly, I'm going to become stronger. I'm going to be able to endure this suffering. I'm going to be able to find a way out of this. And just looking at a big picture helps you endure like day-to-day suffering and day-to-day fears. Here's what I would suggest. Start seeing depersonalization as a transformative process. Accept and surrender to this process and trust that the outcome will be positive in the end. This is pretty important. I want you to place some trust and faith in this process, and that know that this process will be positive at the end, and place your faith on that. Take action when necessary, because you can't just sit around and hope that this transformational process is going to move out in about a month's time or in a year's time, and you can just like sit here and play video games or whatever. You will be called to take some action, and part of that action is putting up with the discomfort of these feelings. Part of that action is accepting and surrendering to these symptoms. Part of that action is actually going out there and engaging with life despite feeling discomfort. Part of that action is maybe picking a new hobby or working on a project or even going to the gym and building a healthy lifestyle, So you need to take that action when necessary. Don't latch on to your old self. I see a lot of people making this mistake. People always, think about their past, and they're always thinking like, oh, I used to be so happy. I used to not think about these philosophical questions. Why can't I be my old self? If you're trying to latch on to your old self while this transformation process is happening, you're going to suffer a lot. You're just clenching onto it while you're being dragged through this process. So I'm here to say, like, let go. Let go of your old self. At your core, you're not going to change. You're going to be same. But a transformation process like DP is going to make you stronger than your old self. It's going to make you the best version of your old self. So you might have to let go of certain habits of the old self and embrace new habits, like I said. So don't worry about letting go of your old self. And that's it. I want to say, it's always helped me viewing my own DP experience as a transformative process, and I hope it does the same for you. And I wish you well. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and leave a comment letting me know what you thought about it. Also, it helps me a lot if you can share this video with your peers and your network. I wish you well. Thank you for watching, and good luck.